So, Rachel, as we come down into the final minute of the 24 hours, what a race it's been, but one more lap to go, so white flag will be out this time by.
Yeah, one more lap, Will, and it's been a lot of laps in this race. It's almost unbelievable we're coming to the finish of this one. The white flag after 874 laps for the leaders. This has been an odyssey, and it's been an incredible one to view.
Yep, so there you can see then, Co-Anderson Sport into the final lap of the iRacing.com 24 hours at Daytona. Here you can see Antti Pajala working himself on the banking. The play clock down now to just 30 seconds. And ladies and gentlemen, the final lap of the race for New World Team Sport will commence in about 30 seconds time. As here you can see Mitchell Dion working himself now through in towards the second horseshoe. Play clock now down to 15 seconds. Down to 10 seconds, and ladies and gentlemen, 24 hours worth of racing here in the iRacing.com 24 hours at Daytona is now officially complete. The white flag is out. There is one more lap to go. So now you can see the play clock has expired, and here you can see Antti Pajala. He's working himself down towards the start-finish line to start his final lap of the race, but we'll turn it back to Mitchell de Jong for Co-Anderson Sport. Down he comes into the bus stop for the final time. Last braking zone is complete for him, as he can see Co-Anderson Sport onto the banking for what will be the final time here. And what a performance for Co-Anderson Sport, who has shown themselves to be the dominant factor in all of racing. Here you can see then down on towards the start-finish line for the final time. I do believe, yep, the checkered flag is out. Co-Anderson Sport, the winners of the iRacing.com 24 hours of Daytona. Paul Ilbrink going to nurse his car across the start-finish line. He will claim second place in this event. And now we turn our attention to Antti Pajala in the New World Sim Sport Moonshine car. He works himself onto the banking for the final time in this event, as here you can see then now just coming down into the banking. You've got yourself the other New World Sim Sport car, I believe, just ahead on the racetrack, as there you can see
that indeed
it is the New World Sim Sport Ford GT car going to get ready to do a formation finish for the New World Sim Sports cars. They work themselves down in towards the bus stop chicane for the final time. So Antti Pajala is going to be one of two drivers who have come through the field, two teams even, who have come through the field to take victory. Coanda, they came from deep within the field. They claimed victory in the prototype class and overall. But the New World Sim Sport Moonshine car working themselves onto the banking, and there you can see formation finish for the New World Sim Sport team as they get themselves, not the day they would have wanted, but what a performance by Jonathan Hall. But Antti Pajala will claim the GT class victory there for New World Sim Sport as they cross the start-finish line just over 24 hours after they commenced their event. Rachel, what a day it's been.
What a day and night, Will.
You've got to give credit to Core for being quite so quick in this event.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. The white flag is out. The time has expired. This is the final lap of the 24 hours of Daytona, and there is Marcus Lenderman in the VRS Co-Anderson Sports car, heading himself now through NASCAR number 2. In a moment's time, he'll head himself through the bus stop chicane, and then he can just hit that throttle down as far as it will go and bring that car home to the end of this event. Technically, they've already won with a 2-lap advantage, but Co-Anderson Sports just clipping the grass a little bit there, heading himself now onto the banking for the final time in this event. And Co-Anderson Sport won the first 24-hour event on Racesport TV. They won the first iRacing 24-hour event as well. Out of the final corner then, Marcus Lenderman is celebrating already. Co-Anderson Sports are the winners for the second year in a row of the iRacing.com 24 hours of Daytona. We now head on back to see Andreas Allmensberger. He is heading himself through the bus stop for the final time himself. We go on board with him as he exits the bus stop chicane and heads himself through NASCAR turn 3 and 4. At one point, this was an area which created a little bit of chaos and some conflict However, for Pure Racing Team, they have kept their car clean. Yes, we were robbed of a fight with iNext Racing at the end, but PRT were always there in the mix. Andreas Allmansberger will cross the start-finish line and will take victory in the GT side of this iRacing.com 24 hours of Daytona. Just waiting now to see the podium as we get ourselves the traditional drivers slowing down and the cool-down parade as well. Andreas Allmansberger is done. Rafael Adepalo from Ivano will come home in second place in class, as it will be Edwin Boss, the number 33 machine for Virgil Racing, bringing home the goods as far as GT. I have to say though, Cormo
do that, they'll go and set the run up here for the white flag lap gap, just 0.2 of a second, if not a little bit less, and you can close anywhere upwards of half a second on this banking. If you're within that sort of area, then this is going to be a drag race, but he's got to go high side to do it. And you can see the weave. They want to give each other racing room a little bit less. Janssen comes down on the driver then of Robin Esterson, and traffic in front heading to one. When they cross the line with the white flag going, guess what? 3,000s go Venderval's way, and Venderval have the advantage now. And look at this, switch back, contact, round goes the driver of Robin Esterson, and Carly Janssen could have just stolen the race.
Well, controversial moment on the last lap of the 2018 24 hours of Daytona. This one does deserve a replay. We didn't see the full extent of the contact, but here we are as they work themselves through NASCAR turn number 3 and 4. They were very close at the outside line. It was Radicals on line 6 sideways. If this was Radicals' fault, they might well yet give up the position. But let's have a look into turn number 1. They dove it down the inside. They did not have full racing room there. Did Radicals online? I think that should be Vanderbilt Sim Racing who should have the victory there, because Radicals did not have clear racing space, in my opinion. We will have a couple of more looks at this one after the race is scored complete. The time has officially elapsed into the bus stop chicane for the final time. Radicals online. Could this well be a controversial and tainted victory? They look as though they are going to drive it to the line. The number 16 machine of Carl E. Janssen. He has done over 150 laps on this final stint. Carl E. Janssen for Radicals online comes past the start-finish line to win overall in the 2018 24 hours of Daytona, but it is a finish that most likely will be considered to be just a little bit controversial. We will see in a couple of moments' time. Max Wenig coming past the start-finish line. He takes victory in terms of GTE in that number 71 car. The comeback of comebacks by over a lap and a half. Pure Racing Team managed to take victory in terms of GTE. And now we turn our attention to Vanderbilt Sim Racing Yellow, because they are on the banking. They will complete their race in about 30 seconds time. Well, that one ended with a little bit of controversy, Connery.
Yeah, but I think it's a little healthy in every single sport, no matter if it's esports or real life sports, to have a little bit of controversy at the end of these sorts of events. But looking back at this GT3 effort for Vanderbilt Sim Racing Yellow, absolute dominance in the latter part of this race, putting 2 laps on the rest of their competition, heading their way through NASCAR turn 3 and 4. And Hayden Burns, Vanderbilt Sim Racing Yellow, they'll take the GT3 win.
Wow. Out of the final corner, Hayden Burns for Vanderbilt Sim Racing Yellow claims victory, and that was a dominant one. Vanderbilt were looking to get the double. They didn't in the end. I think it's time we start looking at some replays after that one.
On track, they have taken the white flag. This is the final lap of the iRacing Daytona 24 hours.
Yeah, we'll come back to, oh my word, turn around, Jem Bullock-Bassey down at the bus stop chicane. Replay coming up. Did he bin it by himself? Did I prophesize what might have been the situation for Jem Bullock-Bassey down towards the bus stop chicane? And Bullock-Bassey got a little tap there. He goes around. Oh my word, we are losing one battle. We need to go to the front of the field because Joshua Rogers is on at the back straight away. He's heading himself down towards a bus stop chicane. I'm wondering whether or not PJ feels he might need to give that place back. We go on board though with Joshua Rogers, and we go on board with Coanda Simsport. This is a team that had been dominant in other types of series in 2018, but they didn't focus that heavily on the endurance. It was all pure racing team last year, but this year we got Coanda back on the top of the mountain. They win the 24 Hours of Daytona 2019, but we still have more battles to go. We have this one between Evolution Racing Team and Team Rensport Online. They are coming on to the banking for their final time right now, and we're going to go on board with the driver of Ethan Greg Gold. Now, we know that there's been some damage to that car over these 24 hours that could well be the difference maker at the end, but as they work towards the bus stop chicane, if you're Ethan Greg Gold, you've got to get the run out of this corner, and Rensport Online almost bulking them a little bit onto corner entry. Corner exit, pretty good then. Let's get the photo finish cameras set up, shall we? Because this one will be a run to the line, and you can see already Team RSO are looking to the high side. They're doing anything they can to break the draft. Who is going to be your winner of this P4 battle? We've got ourselves Altus Esports, who are going to cross the line and take GT ahead. At the line, Evolution Racing Team, get it.
Oh, very, very close at the end there. ERT managing to make it work where it matters. It's a shame the battle between the Turquoise Boys and the NX Racing car ended the way it did, coming through the bus stop chicane. Altus Esports, though, will win in GTE and in GT3. Fantastic effort from that team. We did see a photo finish at the end, Will, but it wasn't the battle we were expecting.
No, it wasn't. Evolution Racing Team left it until the very, very end. I want to take a moment to congratulate Altus Esports by winning both GTE and GT3. They have done what very few teams have ever done in the history of endurance racing on iRacing, and that is claim a double victory in the top split race. So Altus, I know that you had some fun at Porsche Sim Racing Summit. I know that many people think that you've been in the shadow in terms of the Australian community, but today Altus Esports claim 2 victories, 1 in GTE and 1 in GT3. A fantastic, sterling effort by them. Here is Coanda Simsports, the team which has had Joshua Rogers, the team that's had Marty Piatella, the team that's had Mitchell DeYoung on there. They are your winners. A slightly newer livery for 2019, but it is the result that VRS Coanda Simsport have had so many times over the years, and that is being number 1 overall. Coanda Simsport are your overall winners.
2 laps to go, and it's just played out just wrong for them. They've miscalculated fuel. Maybe if depending on how much fuel they put in the car, if they didn't take a full tank, they might be regretting that right now. But I think it's white lap here, white flag for the VRS Coanda Simsport. So it's final lap here for the DP class, and yeah, that's really unfortunate for them, and very happy moment for him. As you can see there, they've pretty much been gifted a position, because I'm pretty sure they were going to lose that place.
This is the final lap. Time will expire. 2 seconds, 1 second. White flag out there. Checkered flag next time around for VRS Coanda Simsports. Tommy Erskar will bring it home for the number 8 team. And what a dominant performance it has been throughout this race. They will end up being back-to-back winners of the iRacing Daytona 24 Hours, this time in 2020, just like they did in 2019. Their closest competitor, Team Redline Daytona Prototype 1, they had issues in the night, but Coanda Simsports were able to survive. Just a bus stop chicane and 2 NASCAR turns to go, and they will be your 2020 iRacing Daytona 24-hour winner. There's a bit of lap traffic ahead, but that won't concern the Norwegian of Tommy Erskard. He'll sit in the slipstream, he'll duck
back down towards the inside. A very well-run race by the most star-studded roster in VRS Coanda Simsport history. I have to argue, in that number 8 Daytona prototype car, they will get the run to the line. VRS Coanda Simsport will win overall in the 2020 iRacing Daytona 24 Hours.
What a race this was. 24 hours of racing, 4 teams of commentators, and I think 4 to 5 different producers as well. And I think this is a very, very good way to start the 2020 special events season here on iRacing Service.
RS Competition come across the line to win in GT3s. A 2-man team has taken it all in the slowest class here today. Lasseback bringing it home for that team. And then we look to Team Redline. They weren't able to make it happen in the Daytona prototypes, but they were able to make it happen in your GTE field. The Coanda car on the outside maybe spoiling the party just a little bit, but Team Redline heading their way towards the start-finish line. Redline are your winners in GTE. Maximilian Benecke brings it home for his new team, and that's a special event win for Team Redline, and that's the first in a very, very, very long time, Dane. They are coming up towards the... where is that? They're coming up towards the start-finish line, so this is the start of the final lap then. VRS Coanda Simsports number 8 take the white flag here in the 24 hours of Daytona. They're 1 lap away from winning yet another in a special event here at Daytona. Having a look back to the Vendaval Sim Racing Blue and Marla battle, they're coming up to 1 lap to go here in this race as well, as the tension is palpable here in this battle for P5 in GT3. It wasn't the battle for any of the class race leads that we were hoping for around about 5 hours from the end of this race, but we'll settle for this. Marla looking high side, coming up towards the start-finish line, 3 wide with the number 12 prototype around the outside. Marla's going to commit on the brakes here in towards turn number 1. Absolutely neck and neck. Vendaval have to be careful about washing out. Oh, they almost make contact with doors coming through turn 1, but Vendaval are just about able to hold on. Now coming up in towards the International Horseshoe. Again, outside line here for Marla. They're not able to get anything done. They look to try and cut back underneath, but it's simply not going to happen for them. There is the driver of Mitchell de Jong, though, in the VRS Coanda Simsports number 8 car. He's coming through the bus stop chicane for the final time in his race. Vendaval still just about holding on to Marla back in that battle for P5 in GT3, but we have to look and turn our attention once again to VRS Coanda Simsport. They are the undisputed kings of Daytona. They get another race win under their belts in the prototype class. They win the 2021 24 hours of Daytona in the prototype class. Coanda do it again, but we have to quickly look back to this battle between Vendaval and Marla for P5 and GT3s, because they are coming up towards the bus stop for the final time here. AAA Esports White are also involved in this, so they are the GTE race leader further back in the pack, so they'll just wait for them to try and sort this one out. There is Vendaval, there is Marla. Is Marla going to be able to get enough of a slipstream here coming towards the start-finish line to take P5 away over Vendaval? Here comes the run. He's gaining so much speed here on the NASCAR bankings. He looks high side here, coming up towards the start-finish line. A move to try and block the lane from Vendaval, but Vendaval, are they just about able to hold on? Oh, off of the hook. That was a little bit naughty. He almost wrecks Vendaval out the race, but Vendaval are able to hold on here in the 24 hours of Daytona. They come 5th in GT3s, and the rest of the race winners have headed their way across the line. There is AAA Esports White with, I believe, their first ever special event win in the GTE class. Fantastic stuff from Jackson Harlow and his teammates. Looking back to GT3s, there is Team BMW Bank with Keika Shube behind the wheel in the final moments to win in the GT3 class by a huge margin. What a finish there we saw in GT3s.
Most definitely, that was quite the finish between those two. Little bit of a interesting move. I think it was just about the same point of time that they both went to the right side there that caused that contact between the Marley and the Vendaval sim racing teams. But just great racing from both of them. Much respect given to both of them. Just incredible.
There is your overall race winner, Mitchell de Jong. VRS Coanda Simsport add another to their already burgeoning tally of 24 hours of Daytona wins. They've only dropped one race. They've only not won one race since the existence, the start of the existence of the iRacing Daytona 24. They are unbeatable here. They were challenged a little bit more this year compared to 2020. Williams Esports giving them a good fight towards those final hours, but in the end, it's the consistency, it's the speed of Coanda that reigns supreme once again.
We turn our attention over to Apex Racing. We've got 10 seconds left on the clock. Are we actually going to see another lap here?
One more.
Cross the line with 5 seconds to go. Oh, it's like Le Mans all over again, and the car turned around just in front of them. Just to add a little bit more drama here in the last lap of the race. That was Bobby Zelensky, the number 81, the VRS Coanda Simsport, and there's more drama, Connery.
BS Turner have been turned in that battle, that epic battle for P9, 10 and 9, 10 and 11. They got turned by Core.
Oh my word, we're going to get a replay of that one after the race. We're going to get the replay of that one after the race. Let's turn our attention and focus on Apex Racing Team. They've got the other lap to do, the one additional lap to complete. Now this could be drama for other teams because of the fact they might be very, very tight on fuel. Barney has now got the white flag out. This is the last lap of the race. Onto the banking for the final time through NASCAR's 1 and 2 goes the Apex Racing Team. They are going to become only the second team not named VRS Coanda Simsport to have won this race, but they've done it with an exclamation point. They have beaten Coanda Simsport on the road to claim victory in this race, because back in 2018, when it last happened, Coanda didn't win this event. Well, they weren't participating in the top class field. Apex Racing Team, Peter Barryman then, coming past NASCAR turn 4, or to start finish line, and they are going to win the biggest sim race of 2022. Peter Barryman, Apex Racing Team, getting the hugs, getting the applause from his teammates, as Apex Racing Team are your winners of the 2022 Daytona 24 hours. Next, we wait for Fire at Simsport Green in GT Daytona. Let's see where they are. Have they completed it yet? I don't think they have. They're working themselves now onto the banking themselves. They've got a bit of traffic around them, but nothing that is going to really harm them. Inertia are ahead of Kova, and I'm just trying to keep an eye out here. Have Kova actually had some issues with their fuel, Lewis, on the last lap?
Yeah, they've definitely had to back off from inertia, maybe through some instant and such. There is a large gap between the two of them. Also, again, the battle for the podium position is going the way of R8G. A bit of a gap appearing there between Beeler and R8G. So I think some people, as you were alluding to with the extra lap, might be struggling a bit more on fuel as far ahead into NASCAR 3.
Yeah, it's that 5 seconds between Apex crossing the start-finish line and the white flag being displayed that would have turned some team strategies completely upside down. It's Lasse back then with the number 9 car, the Fire is Simsports green car, crossing the start-finish line. Barney gives the checkered flag. Fire win in GT Daytona, an absolutely stacked GT Daytona, and they have held off competition from all angles. Most recently, of course, from BMW Team BS competition, but that field in GT Daytona has been stacked all day long, Connery, and it is Fire who get themselves their landmark win by winning in GTD.
Williams Esports, one of the biggest names in all of sim racing, and coming into one of the biggest races of the year with expectations. The expectation to be winner number 1 in the GTP class. They will work their way to the line, and I think it's one more lap to go. It is! We get one additional lap, and we were talking about this right as we were talking about cars needing maybe to think about when the leader was going to cross the line. The leader crosses the line with 0 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, and this is an example of where your strategy can sometimes go wrong right at the very end. Luckily, this race-leading car should be okay for fuel. This is the 22nd lap of the stint. They've been regularly doing 25 laps throughout the rest of the race, and they should be okay. But if there is anybody starting now, a 25th lap within the GTP field, they'll be starting to feel a bit nervous. But for Arthur Lahouk and the whole Williams Esports Chill Blast team, this is almost like a lap of honour now. They've done 24 hours of racing. They still need to complete this final lap to get the flag, but they get one more chance around the World Centre of Racing to show what they can do, to show off this beautiful car, and to bring it home a very comfortable winner.
Maybe we should not be too shocked at the quality of this car. Of course, Alexander Spets, we mentioned the domination that we've seen from him over the week of official iRacing IMSA competitions, 45-minute races every 2 hours. Arthur Lahouk won both the Watkins Glen 6 hours and Petit Le Mans last year. Those are two of our VCO Grand Slams here in 2023. Is this the statement from Williams Esports that they want to dominate the VCO Grand Slams? They will come across the line to win the biggest race in sim racing in the GTP class for the very first time. It's Williams Esports Chill Blast victorious in the 2023 iRacing Daytona 24 Hours powered by VCO. Arthur Lahouk, Matt Farrow and Alexander Spets will walk away with 3 trophies to signify their achievement. Coanda's LMP2 car will get some draft from the GTP that goes the long way around and still tries to work its way on through. They do have 2 more laps to go. Let's not forget GTD traffic in front of them, 3 wide on the run to the line.
Yeah, see if Jürgen Frank can get to the outside, flashing the lights, mostly towards the Coanda that have gone through and towards those 2 GTDs, which are the leaders in the race. It might well be the final lap for them. They might get caught by Ate Kauppinen, but for right now, the focus is absolutely on this fight for 3rd place in the LMP2s. Final lap of the race is about to start for Ate Kauppinen, who's come out onto the start-finish straight.
Here's a look at what you were mentioning, by the way, for the race leader.
So risky.
Oh, lock the inside front. I've got to say, you say so risky. That could have ended in disaster on corner exit as well.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, that is so risky, and yeah, it's cost them a couple of seconds, but that's the wake-up call that maybe they needed.
Yeah, because, like you say, there is, I think, the race leader. Ate Kauppinen is heading out through the international horseshoe. The clock's about to strike 0. So we are actually, I think, going to be on the final lap of the race. And it will be 920 laps, not 921.
One short of last year then. So it's definitely not a distance record, but might well be an excitement record. We've had a great race.
It's not been bad, has it?
This afternoon, today, and yesterday.
I mean, you know, as we get ready to see them battle for 3rd position on the final lap, Lewis, what's been some of your highlights of the race so far?
The crashing. No, the overwhelming banter with the audience about what orange really is.
That has definitely, I think, caught most of our attention. Now, Mac Backham got a great run out of the Le Mans chicane. SimRC not such a great run, and so it means on the final lap it is going to be the battle between those two that they'll have to keep an eye on. One more lap for them from the World Centre of Racing, but here comes Williams Esports Playseat, ready to make it 2 for 2 in this Daytona 24 in the last couple of years.
Incredible, isn't it, Arjuna? One final corner left to go, picking up a little bit of slipstream. They have driven
like there's a storm coming.
Excellently.
It's 2 for 2 in these 24 hours of Daytonas in the GTP era. Williams Esports Playseat are heading to the 2024 IMSA Esports Global Championship as winners once again in the biggest sim race of the year. It's some well-earned donuts and instantly not hanging around after the drama. We'll have to wait a while before we see the WSR Esports butt kicker team and Alexander Davidson celebrate their victory as well. Similar story for Max Verstappen, who's heading off into the 2nd of the horseshoes. But now, as out onto the banking comes SimRC and VRS Coanda, Jürgen Frank has one more chance, Lewis, to launch an attack for a podium spot. This time by out of the Le Mans chicane for the penultimate time. No 23 hours and 58 minutes of racing here. We will get the full 24. And 901 laps will be complete in this first iRacing Daytona 24 with rain. 2 big periods slowed down the speed throughout the course of the night. And on to the final lap here from the World Centre of Racing. Michele Costantini leads Scuderia Ferrari HP Esports team into 2025. LMP2 as well, Lewis. Let's go talk about the Apex Racing team. What a story for them.
Yeah, I mean, look, they had a whopper of a crash courtesy of BS Competition a bit earlier on in the race of the Apex Racing team car being sent out. A little bit of impatience coming in from BS Competition, and they've kept the endurance spirit. They've just kept going and find themselves in the lead of the category by just about 7 seconds, heading on to what will be their final lap they're about to head on to as they go through the Le Mans chicane. Out of the final bit, 50's leading.
And even in GTD for Redline, I mean, Josh Thompson, 23 seconds. He's been able to hold Williams Esports Racing Prodigy, rather, at bay. All three of our leaders in these closing stages have executed very, very well. Yes, the GTP leaders had a bit more of a buffer behind. They've still had to make sure they've stayed out of trouble and on the tarmac. Let's be real, Daytona always tends to invite its fair share of controversy on the track and off the track. There is something about the start of the new year that brings with it a little bit more tension. But put the controversy aside for a moment and focus on the result at the checkered flag. It's going to be Scuderia Ferrari HP Esports team. For the very first time in an iRacing special event, Forza Ferrari, the Scarlet are on top, and Michele Costantini wins the iRacing Daytona 24, powered by VCO in 2025. What a story. Yes, there's something for us to figure out post-race, but we'll get to that when we will. It'll be a wait for the LMP2 and GTD leaders to come towards the line, Lewis, and so for the time being, we sink in the winning feeling up front.
Yeah, indeed. Going out onto the banking now is the LMP2 leader. There, going through the dogleg, is the GTD leader. So focusing on the Ferrari for a second and just thinking about that for a moment. Yes, there's controversy. Yes, there is a pretty bitter taste in the mouth, but 24 hours of driving. Great to see the Scuderia Ferrari HP Esports team, though, taking sim racing seriously, coming back into it. Obviously, they've won quite a lot of races, won quite a lot of events in their years of sim racing, but a refocus and a revitalization for them. This is going to be a very good year of sim racing.
And again, give the shout outs to Grid and Go's 001. Maybe we'll grab the victory in the race control room, but even if not, 10 positions gained to finish second. What a worthy performance from them. Once more in LMP2, it's Apex Racing on top. Some new drivers, but the same level of performance. From pole to victory lane, but a story that's anything but simple. The Corby crew get it done at the World Center of Racing. And here comes Team Redline. Fresh off a championship victory in the IMSA Esports Global Championship, they return to the scene of their success 12 months ago. In the biggest sim race of the year, it's Redline on top in the GTDs for back-to-back years as Thompson crosses the line.